This is Eye on Excellence, sponsored by LSU Auxiliary Services.
Hi, I'm Lance Frank with this week's Eye on Excellence student profile, and this week we have Joe Coussan. Joe is a mass communications senior, public relations. He has a pretty impressive GPA, 3.71, and let me just tell you a little bit about Joe. He is a Manship School ambassador, an LSU ambassador. He is a member of Omicron Delta Kappa. He's the secretary there. And he's also the chair of the College Council President's Commission.
That's correct.
Now, Joe, that's a lot of stuff that you're involved in. How do you do all of that and keep this 3.71 GPA?
I sacrifice sleep a lot, but it takes a lot of time management and commitment, and it also takes a lot of help because clearly a lot of the things there I can't do on my own. College Council, you know, that's a very involved effort, and Manship ambassadors, it's a very strong team effort, and I'm very fortunate to be working with such a great group of people in each one of these organizations, and that way we can help each other out, we can keep each other on task, and that's how I manage it.
Right, and you're involved in student government through the College Council, and you're a Manship ambassador. That's a lot that you're doing at the Manship School, and you're a mass communication major. Why is that so important to be involved in your school?
Well, whenever I first came to LSU, I really felt at home in the Manship School, and from there, the more I stayed within the school, the more I got to know the faculty, the professors, my peers, other classmates. I was able to be a lot more comfortable, and professors and administrators would recognize some of the effort that I put forth in the work that I did as a student worker there and on the College Council and in my classes as well. And every so often, you know, whenever professors and administrators recognize you, they begin to nominate you for certain things, and they recognize your talent. And in order to be successful, it's especially important to get involved within your school early, no matter what it is, whether it's the Manship School or if it's any other college on campus.
Now, through your leadership roles on campus, and even as a student, what mark do you want to leave on LSU before you leave?
Well, that's often a challenge for me to figure out because, you know, as a senior, you begin to wonder about your legacy. But I've realized that, you know, LSU is bigger than just one particular student or any one class for that matter. So my biggest legacy would be to continue the success of the school, not just my own personal success, not just, you know, making sure my name is somewhere, you know, in stone somewhere. That's not my goal. It's just to make sure that LSU stays on par with other national universities and that we continue to succeed in all that we do because needless to say, the state depends on how successful LSU is. So if I can contribute to that in any way, I'll have left my own personal legacy.
And speaking of personal legacies, your group, you were a member of the Bateman Public Relations Competition, which is a national competition, and Joe's group competed on a national scale and won honorable mention.
That's correct.
So that's a pretty big mark to leave at the Manship School and for LSU students.
Yeah, I was extraordinarily proud of that. There were two teams from LSU that placed honorable mention, and we were both teams were very proud of one another. We were very content with the success that we had, and we hope that it sets an example for students to follow who participate in that program this year.
And one more thing about Joe Coussan, he was the campaign manager for the Watkins-Sherman ticket that ran for student government president and vice president, and who won. How did you do that, Joe, among all of these other things that you're involved in? How do you run a campagn?
I barely made it out alive, but then in that situation, again, that was another example of a really, really strong team working for a common goal. And especially during that campaign, I was working with many students who weren't just in this particular group, but they were all going at it with the same motivation to serve LSU and to serve the student body. And that in itself was very encouraging. So that made it really easy to get up out of bed really early and work on that campaign to make sure that, you know, LSU had strong leadership.
And it was a successful mission.
I would say so. President Watkins and Vice President Sherman are doing a fantastic job. I'm very proud of all they've done so far, and I was very grateful to be a part of that. So.
Thanks, Joe. And for all you do here at LSU, this segment is sponsored by LSU Auxiliary Services, and we're going to give you a $20 gift card and paw points for all that you do.
Well, Lance, I do appreciate that.
So thank you, Joe.
Well, thank you, Lance.
Thanks for watching Eye on Excellence. See our next student on Tuesday right here on TigerTV.tv.